an kawoni ako dako para le madong maraje pe
ngo en ga no jirani de gineno kite makwati kore
abe dal maraj mita yi ku doga gira.
When you love a person, you don't fight the person, you don't act violently. Concerning gender-based violence in the community, surely this kind of situation has been so common, and even up to now, we can say some aspects are still there. But one good thing concerning eradicating gender-based violence in our community, in our homes, in our families, because it was found out that it was really bringing a lot of problems in the homes.
Jayodi has over 13 years experience in constant operation of providing services to the community of Junam. In 2019, we had a partnership with Memprow to implement projects from 2019 to 2021. We implemented a project on community approach in preventing violence against women and girl child. We effectively implemented this project up to the end. I would like to take this opportunity to appreciate Memprow for funding us for this project. It has really changed the lives of the community of people in Pakwach District.
We were able to do community sensitization or awareness raising through dialogue meetings. We also did training of the local community leaders, like the local council 1 chairpersons, so that we could equip them and take their responsibilities as community leaders and to handle issues of violence that rise up in their communities.
Grupo Jayodi ilongwa terwa kumponji na ponji maicha odo kulipa choka kino sako temo na tichi kinde mate ke aromo crisis maramo ario matongtong magedongo ma bidle me kwa wang ich ya poi tinda nyira moko tusi banga na wegi metoka loro ngam mamegi meme de gamo dako so wacho do masoko de lemba nedi watingu lembo loke sinjo baso no bolare ngo wacho mi konya wuya e makwati mango watinga wuya ini washwala ke police amun lemto do ramka tarengo police kidana pnyara pio mi wakon milong action aid bino bedu ko kara chalo pein ma am de jabi lemba cha am kin ma bino echa wasoko do lembe cha ma lembe cha omiyo konya uja isaka won ma bochu e ade de yiw yang misal warongo mana wesa de tia konya ko ngomi echa eni ber man neno nia ngis man ma ko tengi pa Jayodi
Shalom chairman LC1 kuma makre kitima dano bedu kudu karo i ot me kin pasho gin mo konyo wa ma pirete go TAP training ma program pa Jayodi ilongo wa iye wa short training at least wanongo nia kitchwech lembe cha tiu ku ga muda ku wonya yot kum na yang wa ngeyo ngo kitim handling lembe shagi ino kesi shagi bini bangwa kitim motoro akon ku lembe sha bedu pe di someone ngo training enu at least oneno nia cases mu bedu ka binu example cases pa megu moka shell glonye ka doko eti dato nen shware to weke kuda uya ma shok ma nyira de do pasho megi So challenge obedo tie nia wayone obedo ka meto. Area machine kudi pacho pare isha. Then nebedo ka mete mai gi ngom area ma wuya cha chien nia isha gangingo. Sama receiving report enu chala chairman to keep funji manwango i program pa yodi enu atembo ka konyogi ku yo moko si mumiru datosha kara shel kuda wiya pare ginong kony mibedo agonya ito paso megi.
We also registered issues as to why most times these victims don't come out to report gender-based cases.
Amrati or parati kushwara, panyol kuda wiya bon. So tia bicha nyera tia dek. Mon kimi tungu ka wishi lembe miki mi ot sawa shekenya makudano za winji. Kimi tuka teka negi da kushwara na ule miki tunga maling ento kale mcha birute gam keli banga. Chal anaje wi mon ashidi bangi akonyi gi kulempa je yudi ma winju lembe cha gami tu marachungo. Anga teka na winju ni anyu shwara bi dei kunyam ka munga ilela. Ando amitungo ko madogo da mikiri. Rango du toni ya chika nwango nyako monga ino nya anarachi don kon para peira mit ko malelo kudi nwango. Podwa moni ndigi temo. Ginwango nyaka teka dung inwango nyaka monga dung be ko ma isha ando weg dung kudi mun ko ma. Ni shoke miru teke dugo paka ini dako wang menwango kuni. Game dako daw ma dit ma kelo da matele ma cha dung tuchire dengo ko je penye gindu daw perango. Winyi ni shode podu tong dako de podu tong. Ngat ma tuju tele ma cha pe ento gigi ginari onangi ngi tele be isha. Mogo ni sio kieri nyo mi krigo sende mi sham ili bed cage ende ni sham bite vut kudi en temere da kweto de monu jay ni sio be meto e mite go ye dako inde pare kelo lembe aya mogo nyo ni sio kieri lembe mogo ju page ni sio be kieri lembe moku lembe je be kieru chwinyi nyo dani pa cho kieri ni sio chwinyi yom e te ko lembe je zoboton yengo e mito kumi she nwang ini daga mo chaka ichi nwang ko mama kunju po be mitango bas le ndi chekele ma kelo da bakun ka ju pinye tele ja o da perango ngada ma chu tele be no ko
ani kare mo kada ngesh no kodi konji pa je yodi be ko bedo ka kadi ma sendi ma donga ka ta para e masaga ne ma sendi ma shelo be ka kado ko de e be ka kadi ma sendi ma di shol ba wiya school fees tego pa shol be pe pa para awiya ni ma shako manyira wen be ka ba dre ko meni kama konji ni shaka pulu shaka miko anyati nge ngesh moko odogi oto shaka weshu onena nyanya awiya munge washoko shwalo ke aya kare mukada ngesh kare ma corona binu nyoto iwa ko ngom sa moko no awiya wa bedo ku gen mania ni shoko nyotere en kere ku ponji mo be ka wunju go sha bisa ka ketu wa wanga wiya de sama enu anena mongo boko na wiya manyira mlongo bedu kugen mana kishopo ya shi corona eno no itie kodo su di serve.
In the past, the community of Janam was a kind of community that did not value girl child. Not even women are recognized as key decision makers in terms of development issues. And also, women were not given opportunity to own land, not even to have control over any family land. But with this project, we managed at least to change the minds of the community, and slowly by slowly the mindset is changing, and we have seen that at least the girl child today is given value in terms of taking them to school equally with the boys, and also in terms of distribution of assets like land. Unlike in the past, when the girl child was looked at as someone who was produced in the family and will go out to develop the other family where she will get married, without giving them consideration to make decisions concerning valuable assets like land in the family, or even taking them to school, was seen as a waste of time.
anda puji cha konyo ko le maduong makwe le mi namba chen me konya ko do pien manu pudi ki pinongo abiru ngiri is kom le pangom sama nyamera duogo biru ko par manyano nyira ker gi pe kom ngom te chama gi punja kom le pangom anda aya jam yo ngom nyamera kar bu tie ki le chama cha ai ji di dong jo chama chama ne tie ngom furu ma pele mo ko de to bi ma pele ini ber mi namba chen manu na di yodi di konya ko do pien na abiru pe ko ngom ne cheno ber mi namba reyo akabiru ku chin lo panyodo manyalo ka kita sela nyira enke ngeye sa mano nya a blaming na mega manono jeti yik pa mongo man nyodo de mongo re mamie nyira de gedano kitu ka ko ne sa makwanya paro isa ipinya ni komponye ba yodi otie mero matek makwe kindwa yo kamaro nyodo mega jake na go de maber koya
an mongo me anyudo kayo bedni sho ende nge anyala wiya ngwen manyira no sama no podi ponje ni pe karo no tembo ka bedu tie o endo sama do ponje ni bengi ponje nge esa e tembo ka loko ko pare do ko ni do kite mana ka shon yo bedu ge ni ngati chede nambu do gi sawa pare ja do wa mana ka isango kite mare njiyo na bi ponje si duogi sama ke nambo duogi resio dao de do duogi ngoko da kutie wechu ni ka ngati wechi iri wechu kieri wechi ka ngati goi wanga sielo ol endo ma eja chamo ngati wechu ne gam nyang wingo ejare me winya shika do ki wechu ma sha ni aya do loya
ponjo pa jiyodi magi ponjo en an ka wono anu na okela la kala ka ko para malo kala ka ne ke tie kumae kar mano podi ponje cha no angengo ai disco chalo ra ma sama ko wire ko disco mo ka dugo no ngamer adu ka ko yero daka ai mi api jom ai konjera pi mi logo no ke kuendo anangi ke timeja logo mi to daka mo ni le cha ai mi kira pi logo ma logo ma de tie nyo tie agulu de maneno ke dako kwero ka ai agama nungu na ngoni chalo be cha pera no kun ke nindo de tie nyundo ni lede gi agama chako dao kar esha abedi ngoya yima de cha wen non kalele enke yokinge cha ma abina winjo ponji pa jiyodi wechule ma ko mai re ma kelo nyola gindo balmi out si ada gamo na ngoni ko ko temo kidmango ma jiyodi chingi ponjo ko de ko tembo ke ponji pa jiyodi ja chuko mondo anda chi agama tembo ka ai disco duogo te opi milogo cham kwen ate opi kenyo mogo gi lede gi kete nyo tuki meni no ngeti meliet ateo jom agama putu no le moko de pe agama tempi du ya share anongo na ngwi de pe so kindwa o achel awiya para yanga no le ni welo boku gi anongo nyoda nyira odiki ma cha no gi ya gi te mango konye de pe no be nya shore tika sopo ka sholo nyo sopo de boku nyo sopo sholo ni tinu tseno ko mi trena si sama winju ponji ni de do kendo agama asa ko ngawe ko tembo ko nyatini ni ko no poli anati ko nyatin kayo para tie ora para ngwen manyako no pole so mo ka de class shelle saba korona ni tap ya ga motamo madon korona mbino o nyatin mi da nkoro ayeso chika woni aketo nyatin para so mo ka wono ngewo class ali de ni mikayo mulo bunge tie class areyo but anani kitika temo lenga gawa ko ne ndo ngatika pana nungu chingaro ikishoncha nungu nyodongi nyogi ol kitambo ka shoro ena gawa na karabe ka temo to mister mitu dengo le muketo abela temo kumeni tamo ko manongi bo showada manongi wesina dako peri donke gamo kinungu le mokungo kani wesina ai uore ni de che purpure no meta ai ko ni kenyi shupu ore kenyo chali bongo etie mugobe chopo ore town ka nyaw kendo la chele de ke ore mite shidi kana yo chungo mshol no mite shidi pini kuma cha dako peri abeda ande ka abeda tiku tame cha gawa nongo ne lokeni chopo lala wa giero ade ko ponyi masingi yodi miashi agama we ko lokeni si le muko mara shi ope don ka wona tima ber ma ke jo moko de nyo karo moko tie ana shida konyo ngia we chungo ma ite moral no mite tem ko mai ko net an ko chinga bedo ko mai kawuoni dongi neno wai moko tie odwa sa we ngiero dongi aka yang koni nonge tetlo kwa koni ngata chalo wokunduru dong gambe rungo mampe.
With this program, many family members started picking up. They began giving themselves up to say, yes, we need to fight violence, especially where you find the men are dominating in a home and they don't want women to talk, they don't want the other people to make contributions. They started seeing the value of having a round table talk where if you have a plan, you need to put it out, down, and you listen to one another. In other words, it has brought up the kind of community participation in family households where each member respects the view of another person. And this has been so good because it was brought to the attention of people through this program that was being run by Joyodi. And the other thing was that respect came into homes and families. People really started being disciplined. Even the young ones, as parents started talking to them together with us as religious leaders and other members, where you have a problem, you sit down and you talk. The children also began understanding that where they were wrong, they could ask for forgiveness and promise never to continue in a way that would ruin their future. And that to me, I saw bringing real positive change in the community. And how I wish that such things continue, we will have a changed community, a community where there is no violence, a community where people are able to listen to one another and settle issues that are trying to cause them rift. They settle it peacefully with understanding, because they begin valuing that both all parties have a role to play in a family, and that is very important for a family that has to be violent free. Always in church on Sundays, we make it a point to highlight to them the dangers of gender-based violence, and we encourage them never to be part of that, because Christianity is about love. That's when you give them the reality of love, that when you love a person, you don't fight the person, you don't act violently. You have to act in a way that you show love to the person and encourage one another. And in some other situations where we would hear that maybe a husband and a wife have a kind of tension, we have been calling them to come and we sit with them, we find out the problems, and the positive impacts have been coming out, because they would go back home changed, and they would promise never to continue and change their lives. And physically we have seen that families that we have been hearing such issues are concerning them have picked up. They are no longer trying to move aside. Some of them have decided to come even role models for others to follow. And sometimes for us, we use our own examples as role models. The way we are trying to move on with the life in our family, we try to ask other people to try and emulate us, especially when you get a situation among the youth, being youthful also in a kind of a way. We say it is possible. It is not something that requires angels, but it requires your commitment and really valuing what you want to come out from your family, because a violent family always will have challenges in terms of development and other things. I've done so, and I think that one is good. It shows that the child's future can never be ruined, even when it has been interrupted by such pregnancy. But even with the talks that have been going on, I don't see the trend as it used to be. There is a real change. Everyone is trying to be keen about life today, life tomorrow, and find even the young ones have started getting it that I think they need to take care of themselves, but need to also look at what is important for their life. And to me, I say this program has kind of brought a rehabilitation in the lives of these young girls, and even the boys who impregnate.
In the communities that we have been going to, teenage pregnancy is seen as a normal thing. They don't look at it as defilement, to the extent that girls have gotten pregnant. A child is just 13 years old. 14 years old up to 17 years old. The community is not bothered to even arrest. Rather, they accept the girls where they are and take even care of their grandchildren that they bear. It adds to domestic violence in such a way that these girls, especially when they get married, when they conceive, remember girls always interact much more with the man. So when they conceive, normally the father pick up the fight or quarrels with the mother, claiming she actually knows the root cause. She knows the plans and the deals of this girl.
Nungu pol kare shobo wepo wa mon ni kwai wania wale mwachu akanyira yani kwanira wachu wako ngati wachi kuko kabanya kempa kidanya kwana wako kuni sho nene gwako pare ne ruge saka gwako ni kwai ne moruga uya ni paro na uya ni kota kuni sho dum tiu kare kare pia we ko yin kula uya pe ni ngale pare do ni paro ki pasana na and when this girl is neglected by her husband or by her boyfriend that has impregnated her and dumped her, as a mother she feels sympathy and pity for her daughter, so she brings her back here to her grandchild. Whereas for the man, he might not look at that as his responsibility, so he might become violent as a girl, forcing her to go and actually get married to that man, or grandchild is actually thrown back, which is unfair to the little child.
We would have done a lot, but we are not able to do a lot since this project was just a pilot and our scope just covered the Pakwach Town Council alone, and yet we have up to 10 sub-counties in the district, meaning that the biggest part of the district were left out and they did not benefit from the project. So we pray that if Memprow could extend their support again, we could manage to cover other part of the district so that the sensitization goes deep to the roots. Joyodi is really committed to the intervention, but we only have challenge of financial support. And where we covered, we managed to get some cases which are really affecting the community in terms of women's rights. It is the most affected areas, whereby you get a woman may bear 4 or 5 children for a man in a family. It may happen that the husband may die and leave this widow alone with the 5 children, but the family members of the man could still push away this woman in order to grab the land. So it is really a pressing issue within the community. And also we have these issues of early child and forced marriages, which are very rampant in our community. A parent may raise a girl child up to around 14, 15 years, but because they look at girls as source of income, they push this young girl into marriage without her consent, just because they need something in reward, after being maybe asked for her hand in marriage by maybe the parent of the boy. And yet this girl could be still interested in going to school. So forced marriages in Pakwach District is seen as something very normal to the society. And that is due to the norms that have been developed in the past. Since we received this funding from Memprow, we have at least managed to sensitize the community on dangers of early child and forced marriages. And we are seeing that some parents are really now changing compared to the past, whereby they are looking at this girl child as a source of income. Instead of allowing them to continue with education, a girl child is forced to go into marriage so that it can bring something for the family, which has greatly affected the district with a high rate of school dropout on the side of the girl child. And even when we see the statistics of teenage pregnancy in the district, from July 2021 to July 2022 this year, just a period of 1 year, the health centers have recorded up to 2,297 teenage pregnancies that have managed to reach the health facilities for antenatal. This really makes me so worried. Where are we heading to? So if we can get more of such projects, we can be in position to sensitize this community so that they should stop these issues of early child and forced marriages. And also cases of defilement should be referred to the authorities concerned. You get a girl is defiled, but the parents of the boy may end up going into negotiation with the parents of the girl child. And this girl end up going through all this pain without justice, which is really affecting our community.
We saw the issue of children getting pregnant, again, especially the teenage girls, especially during the lockdown situations and the rest. And remember, when such things were happening, community members were not so much into understanding the real negative impact of this. Not until this program came up, where meetings were being held with different stakeholders. I, in particular, also attended such meetings, stakeholders meetings, to ensure that we eradicate this gender-based violence in our community. And so with the meetings, plans were set to have deliberate talks to members in the community, family. In some situations, you will need to go family to family. Now, as a church, especially now looking at our role as a church, where I also play a major role as a leader, we have ever been making it a point that wherever we have gatherings, be it on Sunday, we sensitize and talk to the Christians about the negative impact of gender-based violence, and also when we do not take up our roles as parents, we end up losing a lot, especially when our children, the young girls, get impregnated, and at the end of it all, they are impregnated to men who are irresponsible. When we began talking about this, with the encouragement also we got in the meetings spearheaded by Joyodi as supported by Memprow programs, people began to look at sense. They had first looked at it as something that was not so negatively impacting on them, but when they began hearing of such, they really realized that they were not in a good situation.